Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Let's come back to another tutorial. And remember, we are in August holiday. This season, we are supposed to prepare ourselves very early in order for us to catch up with the rest of the students. And then we complete the syllabus as early as possible. Now, we need to do this tutorial today, that is Microsoft Access Database Management System, and this is a question paper, and it is a NITA question paper we are supposed to do. And this is a NITA question paper, and this is a practical paper you are supposed to do. This task involves today two tasks. The first task is Microsoft Access, Excel, that is Microsoft Excel, that is the spreadsheet program. The other task is the database management, that is the database, that is Microsoft Access. Now we need first of all to create the worksheet below and use it to answer the questions that follow and save it as a result. I've already created this workbook and saved as a result on my desktop. Let's open it. This is the result for desktop paper, as you can see on my desktop. Let's open it. Okay, now the first task is to create this worksheet. So now this workbook, after now creating this workbook, let us now open again. Let's open again. Now this is a workbook. Let's close this one, let's accept now. Let's close this one. Okay, this is sheet 1 now. Okay, now the first thing now we are supposed to do here is that we need to answer the questions in Excel. In Microsoft Excel, in spreadsheet program. You are asked to the first thing we are done with creating the workbook, as you can see, and we have already saved as a result. As you can see on the result, unaona hapa result, the title bar inaonyesha the file name as result. We have saved as a result. Go back to now the question paper. The question paper asks you to calculate or compute the sum, average, maximum, and minimum, and that one is very easy. You need to calculate the sum, the function, the sum, function name, the average, maximum, and minimum. We are going to use these three different function names. Let's now first of all calculate the sum, the total. Unaweka equal sign. First of all, a formula in Excel must always start with an equal sign. Before we start calculating the sum, the total. Now let's now zoom the Microsoft Access this program. Click zoom. Tunaweka like 150. Let's tuweke paka 150. Good. Let's click OK now. Now we have already zoomed. Now let's calculate the total. Click equal sign. Equal sign. A formula in Excel must always start with an equal sign. Unaandika sum. We need to know we need to calculate the total. Then we double click. We highlight from here paka hapo. Then tunafunga bracket. Then from there we click enter. That is the answer now. We drag and drop, we autofill. That is the answer. Okay, now let's continue calculating the average. We are also asked to calculate the average is equal to equal sign average. Tunaandika average, double click. Then we need to highlight from here up to where? Up to John Jaramba. That is B2, cell address B2 to B8. Tunafunga bracket, click enter. That is the answer now. Good. We autofill, drag and drop. Now we calculate again maximum, max, equal. A formula in Excel must always start with an equal sign. Tunaandika maximum hapo, max. Then we open the bracket. Then tuna highlight from where to where, from here to here. Sasa, then we close the bracket. Then we click enter. That is the answer now. This one is very simple. Use the function name, equal sign, then you write the function name, MIN, then you open the bracket from here. You highlight, you select the cells from B2 to B8. Good. Close the bracket, click enter. Now we drag and drop. Now, according to the question paper, we are not asked to calculate the product. Go back to the question paper. This is our question paper. We are only asked to calculate the average, the sum, average, maximum, and minimum. We are not told to calculate the product. So let's remove the product. Tutoe product hapa. Now from there, now we are supposed to click save. Click file because we are making changes. You click file here. Unaona file hapa. Then you click save hapa. Save button because you have already made changes. You click save. like that. Now let's go back to the question paper again. Now we are done with question B, that is calculating the sum, the average, maximum, and the minimum. Now you are asked question C, import the data from Excel to Microsoft Access and create a database named MTI. Unaona? Now task 1 tumemaliza. That task 1, we are done with task 1. It involves spreadsheet program or Microsoft Access tasks. Sindio? Sasa we are now going back to another task, that is which involves Microsoft Access task. So now we need to import the data. Tunataka kutoa data kutoka wapi? Kutoka Excel. Tunataka kutoa kutoka Excel hadi tunapeleka wapi? Access. Alafu hiyo database lazima ijiite MTI. Sasa, now what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to open Microsoft Access. Here we need to open Microsoft Access and we need to create a database file name called MTI according to the question paper. Sasa, now from there we are going to import the data from Excel to Microsoft Access. Now let's do it now. Open now Microsoft Access. Let's open Access. Let's open Access now. Let's wait. Now we are supposed to create a database called what? MTI. Let's create MTI. Right click, then we highlight, then we copy like that. Then tunakuja, we click up a blank database. I know some of you guys know how to create database file. Sasa. So Ctrl+V, you paste MTI there, then you click up an icon, you browse for the location. Tunataka kupeleka wapi? Desktop. Click desktop hapo, click OK, then we click create direct. Sasa, now we have created the database file name called MTI. Sasa, click hapo, right click hapo, close all. So this is our database file name called MTI. Now let's continue with the question paper. This is the data question paper. Now we are supposed to Excel. Now it's time now to import the data from where to where? From Excel to Access. Kuna data iko kwa Excel. Tunataka kupeleka Access, ndio? How do you do such operations? Let's now go back to Microsoft Access. Tuko hapa Access sasa. Now we click external data. Unaona hapa hivi external data. Why do we click external data? We need to get the data externally from Access to from Excel to Access. Sasa click external data first. We click external data, then we click Excel. Tunataka kutoa data wapi? Kutoka Excel, si ndio? Click Excel, then we click here browse. We need to browse. Hiyo data iko wapi? Click browse, iko kwa desktop. Click desktop hapo, inajiita aje? Result copy, something like that. Results, unaona hapa hivi? Yes, click hapo. I think something like result. Click result copy, then click OK. Then we click OK again. Let's continue. Click next. Click next. Click next. We don't want primary key. Sema no primary key. Click next. Then go back to the question paper. You are told to save the data table as import data. Now we need to save the table as import data. Then right click, then copy. Then go back to the Microsoft Access footer here, then paste it here. Ctrl+V, import data. You name the table as, save the table as import data. Then you click finish. Then click close. As simple as that. This is how you import the data from Excel to Access. Let's open it. This is our data. Are we together? Good. As simple as that. Now, remember this is hash. It needs, in our exam, in our theory exam, we said hash means we need to accommodate columns, sindio, or we need to give more space so that the data should be accommodated. Sasa, let's resize this one so that let's resize. Good. As simple as that. Then click save. Save the changes. Do you want to save the changes? Yes. Good. Then right click, open in design view. Iko sawa. So unaona, this is the data. Remember now when you import the data from Excel to Access, it changes. Now the data type, unaona tu hata sisi hatukuweka, kwani sisi ndio tuliweka data type. We have never created this table in data sheet, in design view or in data sheet view, because we have just done, we have just imported from Excel to Access. We have never created a table in Microsoft Access. We have only created a table in Excel, whereby we have imported the data from where to where, from Excel to Access. Now let's continue with the question. Now we are done with importing the data from Excel to Microsoft Access, and we have saved the table as import data. Are we together? Now this is our table. To may save as import data. Let what to object type. Good. We are now done with question C and D. We have saved the table as import data. We have imported the data, whereby we have created a database called MTI. Unaona hapa hivi? Yes, the title bar ukiangalia ni MTI, that is a database file name, and then we have also created the table and saved as import data. Let's continue with question E now. That is the last question. We are done with question C and D respectively. Now let's continue with question E. Question E, you are asked to split the table into 3 different related tables, namely students, staff, and course. Now, what is to split? We need to split. It means to separate. We need to separate this table. The main table is the import data. Into how many tables? Into 3 other tables called what and what? Called named student, staff, and course. How do you split now the table in Microsoft Access? How do you split? The first thing, we need to separate the table into 3 tables, that named students, course, and staff. We need to copy and then paste. Simply splitting means, or separating the table is simply means you are just basically the copying and pasting the table. Sasa you click hapo, you click ndani ya table, right click, then copy, then right click paste, then you write staff, I mean the students. The first one is the students. Students, according to the question paper, students. The first one is a student. The second one now is the staff. Tuendelee, then click OK. This is our table sasa. So unaona hata already iko ndani. Yes, you can also open in design view uangalie. Yes, as simple as that. What other? The next one is we are going to create staff and course. Then again we right click, tukiwa hapa we paste. Tunaandika staff, we write staff, then we click OK. As simple as that. This is our table also staff. Tumetengeneza hata hiyo staff iko ndani. Right click, then save the changes. Click staff hiyo iko sawa hata hii. As simple as that. Records iko sawa. Open this one again, main data. We are basically creating or splitting tables or separating tables using the main data, main table called import table. Click. We need to make changes. We need to save the changes. Now let's continue. Now we are done with creating or splitting this import data by naming 2 tables. Tumepata 2 tables, staff and student. There's another one called course. We need also course also. Yes, good. We right click, we click up on ndani. First of all, we right click, then we copy, then tunakuja hapa, we paste here. Click paste, then tunaandika course. We just write course like that, then we click OK. As simple as that. Now we are able now to separate the tables into 3 different related tables. That is called the staff, the students, the course. As you can see, sasa. Now we are done with splitting the tables into 3 different related tables. Now let's continue with the question paper. Now we are done with that. Now we are asked now also, and swali bado inaendelea, and construct an entity relationship model. So we are going to use one type of database model. What is a database model? Database model refers to methodology for storing data, and the database model we are going to use is called relationship database model, and this is currently the most widely used model. Sasa and relationship database model is the most currently used model. So and data are in this relationship database model. Data items are organized and stored in table-like structures. Now let's continue and construct. How do you create a relationship now? The first thing, how do you create a relationship? For you to create a relationship, you must assign appropriate primary key. Lazima uweke primary key. These are the two tables tunaweka primary key. Student na course peke yake ndo tunaweka primary key. Staff hatuweki. So now let's open student in design view. First of all, for you to assign primary key, unafaa kufungua table. You must open in design view, right click in design view, then unaweka which field are you going to assign appropriate primary key. Name, hii field ya name. Which entity is that? Name. We are basically inputting, or we are basically assigning appropriate primary key. Right click, una click hapo ndani, then click kwanza hapo ndani, right click, then click primary key. Sasa you just right click, unatoa primary key. Kama unataka kutoa, you just click hapo field kwanza, the field name, right click, then click primary key, then click X hapo, click yes, then unaenda kwa course, you right click, then you open in design view, unaweka primary key this one. You click hapo ndani ya hiyo jina name field ya name, right click, then primary key unaweka, then click X, click yes. Now let's go back to the question paper. After kuweka primary key, you are told now to split related tables. Related tables means we are going to create a relationship called an entity relationship. That's called relationship database model. That's what we wanted to create. Sasa using the database tools menu. So unaona hapa hivi ndo tunatukuja kutumia. Then from there, after assigning primary key, right click, hii iko na primary key. Unaona name? Ukikuja hapa student, right click, hii iko na primary key pia. Unaona hapa hivi? Yes. Staff peke yake. Hii table ya staff hatujaweka primary key. This one no. Hatuweki. Tunaweka primary key gani na gani? Course na student name. Student peke yake. Course na students peke yake. Staff hatuweki. Now let's create the primary, relationship. Let's create relationship. Let us construct an entity relationship. Click database tools. You click first of all database tools. You click relationship. Then now you just get a dialog, a show table dialog box. Ndo unapata which table and which table unataka kuselect. Tunataka kuselect student, click select student, click add. Click staff, because staff haina primary key, it's a foreign key table, then click add. Unachukua course, click add. Don't select import data. Why? This is the main table. We are not going to select this one, because this one we are not going to select this one, because this one we have used this table to import data from, to split tables into 3. Sasa, then click close. Now let's start creating the relationship. Are we together? Good. Now click up on name. Unashikilia kwa left click ya mouse yako, you drag and drop, whereby unaona pointer ina point name, field ya name, unaachilia sasa. You just unaweka tick hiyo box ya enforce refresh integrity cascade, unaweka tick. This one pia unaweka tick, click create. So that is the relationship we are creating. And which type of relationship? Click up ndani line, right click, click hapo ndani, right click, edit relationship. Angalia, it's called relationship type is called one to many relationship. Click OK. Now let's create again this one. Unakuja hapo kwanza, una click ndani ya hiyo field, you drag and drop, unaleta tu hapo name. Unaona hiyo name? Yes, you point it like that. Unaachilia. Then unaweka hiyo box tick, enforce refresh integrity, unaweka hiyo box tick, hiyo nyingine box hiyo tick, then you click create. We are done with that. So now we are done with creating relationship. Now ukiklik hapo this line also, this line represent an entity. Unaona hii they represent how you are going to connect an entity to another entity. So unaona, click hapo ndani, right click, click hapo ndani, alafu edit relationship, bado ni one to many relationship, click OK. Now click close. click hapa X button, usiklik hii X ya juu. Hii X ya juu ukiclicks unafunga the all tabs. Click hapo X ya chini hapa, not the first X, the second X, hii ya pili, then click. Wakikwambia then do you want to save changes, sema yes, click yes. I think now we are done with creating or constructing an entity relationship model. Click database tools, click relationship. So now relationship tumetengeneza sasa. Good. Let's go back to our question paper. Now we are done with constructing relationship, that is entity relationship model or relationship database model. We are already done with creating, or I mean splitting or separating tables into 3 different related tables, whereby we name the table as the student, staff and the course, as you can see. So now hapa hivi, these are the tables to create: course, staff and the student. These are the 3 tables. Are we together? Now from there, now we have basically now splitting the tables from the main table called import table. Now we are done with the last question. I think from where we are now, we are able now to create a database, whereby we are also able now to create a worksheet in Microsoft Access. We are also able to import data from Excel to Microsoft Access. Inshallah, we will continue from where we have stopped, and remember to make a lot of revision during this holiday, and put a lot of effort. Inshallah, when we shall reopen on 9th September, we will finish the syllabus, and I wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.